Okay, guys, here we go with our word building lesson. And so, what I'm going to do is give you some words, and I'm going to, for this part, I also want to say that just use any paper. That's why I did not put the paper that we use in class on the screen because it would just not make sense for what we're doing. So we're just going to change what we normally do just a little bit. So I'm going to ask you some words, ask you to write it in your palm, and then we're going to get to the spelling part. Okay, so our first word is met. So now I would like you to say each sound and write that letter in the palm of your hand. So for example, we'll do eh, in our palm. And then if you could go back to the beginning of that word and write it on whatever kind of paper that you have. So we'll sound it out again as we write it. If you have to push pause, remember we push the space bar and then you just hit the space bar again to get back into the lesson. So once you have your paper, we're going to think about those sounds again and we're going to write those sounds on the paper. So we'll write eh. Okay, and now you'll go to the beginning of your word that you just wrote and you'll glide your finger under it, saying it fast. Okay, so now that word is met. Remember what we know about CVC um, spelling patterns. Now we're going to change met to pet. So let's go ahead and write the word pet in the palm of our hand. So eh, um, and now I would like you to use those same sounds and write those letters on the piece of paper. And as you look at it, compare it to that word met. They're similar. So go back to the beginning to of the second word that I gave you, pet, and you can change the sound by adding the p at the beginning, right? So go ahead and underline which word you had to change or which letter you had to change. And then we'll go back to the beginning of that new word and we'll glide our finger under it, saying it fast. Okay, so now we're going to change that word pet to a different word by changing one of the vowels, or I'm sorry, one of the consonants. So I would like you to listen to what I say and then figure it out on the paper what you need to change. So the first word was pet. So let's see about what we need to do to change it to pen. And once you discover that, just go ahead and underline that new consonant. Okay, and now we'll change from pen to pin. And when you find out what you changed, go ahead and underline that in the second word. Okay, now we have pin to tin. So which of those letters needed to be changed and underline it in the second word. Okay, then we have tin. We're going to change it to 10. So figure out what you changed and underline that in the second word. Okay, last one is we're going to change 10 to men. And then underline the letter that you needed to change. Okay, next step is decoding and sentence reading. So as you can see on the screen right now are a bunch of words that we're going to need to decode. And if you look, they all have that CVC spelling pattern. So I want you to go ahead and put your finger under the first word at the top left of the page. That word is nap. And then they're asking to underline the vowel, but we need to change this because we don't have everything we need. So I guess with your same piece of paper, you can write that first word just using the same skill that you just learned of sounding out each of the sounds and then writing the word. So that first word would be nap. Nap. You would write that, and then you can underline the vowel, name the vowel, and then tell what sound the vowel makes. So if you have a parent or a grandparent or a nanny or whoever you have with you, you can probably, I would say, just as long as you're going through the steps, you can just say that. So underlining the vowel, saying what the vowel's name, and then saying what sound it makes. Okay? Um, so now we're going to repeat this with some of these words. We're going to be reading from left to right. And I'm going to give you as much time as you need to figure out all the words that have the short E sound, which we know is eh. So you'll find all the words with the short E sound. You'll sound them out. You'll write the word, underline the vowel, state what the vowel's name is, and what sound that vowel makes. So go ahead and do that now. I'm going to pause the video and then we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, great. So now we're going to go down to the bottom of the page, and we're going to do some sentence comprehension. So the first sentence, I would like you to just read that silently, and then we'll discuss any word that you don't know at the end. I think you're going to have to share that with whatever adult you have helping you with this. So read the first sentence silently. Okay, now make a picture in your mind as you read to make you understand the sentence and what it's about. Okay, now we're going to read the first sentence together. The tot sat up in bed. So what did the tot do? That's right, he sat up in bed. What picture did you see in your mind as you read? So now we're going to read the next sentence silently. Okay, and what did Nan do? Yes, she led the dog. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and read the third sentence silently. And hopefully you know what picture you saw in your head. Okay, so we'll read the fourth sentence silently. And what do we know about the jet? That's right, it is fast. Okay, we'll read the last sentence silently. And who did Ted meet? That's right, he met 10 men. Okay, so you see that I have a slide that I made that has the word pond in it, and I have underlined the vowel. So go ahead and read the word and tell me what letter says ah. What letter says p? What letter says n? What two letters say nd? What letter says d? What does the letter O say? What do the letters n, d say? What does the letter P say? And what does the letter D say? Okay, so now I'd like you to repeat the word pond and then repeat it again, but don't say n. Okay, so that word should have been pod. Okay, guys, so we're going to begin some reading comprehension. We have a short story we're going to read, and that will be on the next set of slides.